Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL podcast. Today, here's what we're talking about: the power of desire, the power of desire. And so, before I jump into that, I just want to do something, and I don't do this all the time, and I'm going to share with you why I'm doing this in just a second. If you have not purchased the book, Next Level Faith, this is my first book that I wrote. It's on Amazon. I'm going to give you, that's right, I forgot. I'm going to come back here. Next Level Faith is on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it at nextlevelfaithglobal.com. And at nextlevelfaithglobal.com, here's what you get. You get the audiobook. I recorded the audiobook, and I only give it to people who purchase it on nextlevelfaithglobal.com. So you should get that book. And here's why I'm offering it to you. I'm offering it because it has some powerful things in it. And these powerful things are what? Phases of next level faith. Faith that's on the typer, faith in action, faith in crisis, how you change your mind, faith that comes alive, and how to see God first. And so you want to get the book Next Level Faith at nextlevelfaithglobal.com. nextlevelfaithglobal.com. All right, so look, power of desire. What is Jay talking about? You know, in the book Think and Grow Rich. You ever read that book? Read it probably a couple of times at least, and was prompted this morning because of this particular book. I heard Earl Nightingale, if you're familiar with him. I heard him on YouTube. I was listening to something that he was talking about. He was talking about Think and Grow Rich. He was talking about all the things that Napoleon Hill wrote. And the interesting thing of Napoleon Hill and what he wrote, if you read the book, and if you're a kingdom entrepreneur, somebody who's a believer, what you will find in the book is all of the principles from the Bible. All of them. He literally took the Bible, studied people, and wrote a book. But how did that happen? Desire. He wrote Think and Grow Rich based on the desire. He had a desire for something. We're going to break down desire in just a second. But he had a desire for something. And his desire, he wanted to do something with his life. This is Napoleon Hill we're talking about. He wanted to do something with his life. He wanted to be rich. He wanted to be around the wealthy. He wanted, he was a journalist, right? And he was going after, but things was just okay. He wasn't that successful, right? But when you have a desire, amazing things can happen. What kind of things can happen? You could get paired up with the richest man in the world. That's what he got paired up with, the richest man in the world, because of his desire, innate desire. Now, here's the thing. The book that he wrote is not about him. He did not write Think and Grow Rich based on himself. He wrote the book because he got paired up with successful people. He got paired up with people who had already done it. He interviewed them, person after person after person after person, and he didn't get paid to do it. But his name is remembered throughout the annals of time because of his desire to want to do something. He had a desire. All right. What is desire? What is that? You know, as I was listening to Earl Nightingale this morning, he was breaking down all these principles, and desire being the first principle in Think and Grow Rich. And I had a prompting. So I'm wearing this t-shirt today. 828 everything. This is the Kingdom Entrepreneur shirt from 100X. And 828, what does that mean? For we know all things work together for the good of them who love God and are called to his purpose. And I'm wearing this. I'm at the gym this morning. I'm wearing it. I'm doing the stairs. I'm in there, and I got a prompting. What is desire? I'm gonna tell you what desire is in a second. I got a prompting. And the prompting was do something. Why don't you do this? Why? Because while I'm listening, see, right now you have a desire. Let me ask you a question. Do you have desire? What is your ultimate desire? If you went all the way to if it was just one thing that you could have, what would it be? Not lots of things. One thing. I asked my son Jacob this question a few months ago. We were out to dinner. And I asked him this question, and he says, well, Dad, if about $1 trillion, I can take that. That'll fulfill everything. I said, wow, 16. He was 16 at the time. I said, 16-year-old. He didn't just say he wanted a car or a house. He didn't just say he wanted to be able to be successful at something. He skipped success. He just said, well, if I got $1 trillion, if I'm in a position to control that kind of wealth, then everything. What is desire? And then I started thinking about this word desire. Start thinking about Napoleon Hill and what he did to impact the world. Now, Napoleon, that book, Think and Grow Rich, now it has not outsold the Bible. Now, the Bible is the #1 best-selling book of all time. Here's the thing: they don't even publicize that. What if they publicized that the Bible was the #1 book of all time? What if every time they did a New York Times best-selling book, they would have the Bible at the top? Do you think that the Bible would actually get more press, or it would become something that, wait a second, if that's the #1 book, just like how Think and Grow Rich is one of the best-selling books of all times, and people use the book. What if? What if they put it on there and said, you know what, this is #1, and every year after year, it was on there? Because the powers that be don't want that. But let's get back to desire so I can let you go. What is desire? And why is it so powerful? And I've talked about this many times in the podcast. And if you're Spanish, I learned in Spanish that I don't know how to speak, but I do know what DE means. It means of. DE means of. Then I was reading a book. What was the book? It was The Greatest Salesman Who Ever Lived. I was reading that book by Og Mandino a couple of years ago. And in the book, he kept referring to his mentor as sire. Sire, S-I. I'm like, why is this? It's just simple. It's so formal. He just keep sire, sire, sire. Then I went back and I did some studying. Sire just means father. So father, of the Father. So desire, that thing that's within you that you have, that you're saying to yourself, man, if I could just have this, man, I know I can feel it. So this prompting, you get a prompting, right? The Father will give you a prompting for something that you want, for something that you ultimately are saying, man, if I could have that. That's the Father just saying, I want that for you. All those things that you've probably said, man, is that possible? And we all have this, we all have that challenge when you know that there's something that you really desire and you're not sure if you can get there. You're not sure if you can get there. That's why you should get the book Next Level Faith. And I'm not telling you to get the book so I can make a bunch of money, because I don't make a bunch of money on this book. I'm saying get the book because if you want to move mountains, you want to move a mountain in your life, get the book. Now here's spoiler alert. This is one of these projects that I did not care. Meaning Father told me to do it. He says, go write this book. And I did. But I said, well, what if it has typos in it? He says, don't care about the typos, because it does. Somebody told me it has typos. I said, great. I said, awesome. The book is out there, man. I'm okay. Even though some people, oh, man, they got a typo in it. Look, hey, man, I get it. Right? Oh, it should be excellent. Absolutely. But you know what? I'd much rather ship the book out, because I know that this book this book has some stuff in it that I believe can change our lives. So get the book at nextlevelfaithglobal.com. You get the audiobook immediately. But if you just want to get the book, you can go to Amazon and get it. It's on there. You can get it. Next Level Faith, Moving Mountains in Uncertain Times. And as we close today, I want you to think about something with me, because we have been made in the image of the Almighty God. And because we've been made in the image of the Almighty God, we can't see the end, but we can see the beginning. I'm going to say it again. We've been made in the image of God. We can't see the end. When I say we can't see the end, we can assume the end, but only God knows the end. So we have to see from the beginning. And here's the thing, from the beginning, that's when we move. What's up, Jen? How are you? Desire of the Father. That is so correct. So we have to take what we can see right now and press forward. Go forward now. Because the Father's heart is already saying yes. I was on Instagram this morning. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at The Healthy Accountant. And, every Thursday at 8:28, we go live. I just started this today. I was prompted this morning. The Father had a desire for me. And I says, wow, as I was reading John this morning, in John with my son, Jacob, all Jesus talks about is, I only do what I see my Father doing. I only do what my Father says do. I only do whatever my Father is thinking. That's what I do. So our desire comes from the Father, and the Father, when he prompts us, then it's a good thing. Let's go do it. So every Thursday we go live for about 3 minutes with purpose, right? For we know all things work together for them who love God and are called to his purpose. Every Thursday, you're going to see me with this shirt on. I know, right? I'm actually going to start. I'm going to make some shirts, The Healthy Accountant 828s, so that I can start sending them out to people for free. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, when you do things, we're gonna sow a seed, because the Father's will is that his will gets done. And if his will gets done, then that means we have embraced the power of desire, which is of the Father, which is his will, which is what he always wanted for us. So guys, I hope you got value from this program. If you did, like it, share it. I appreciate you for being on here, Deanna and Jen, all of you guys who are listening and just allowing this to go into your spirits. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get the book Next Level Faith at nextlevelfaithglobal.com. And I look forward to serving you just like I do every day. God bless you. I'm the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.